Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie came out in 2009. It was the follow-up to his remake from 2007. And if you thought this one was going to go the route of the original Halloween 2, you are far wrong. Let's get into it. Today, I'm going to be talking about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 from 2009, starring Tyler Mane as Michael Myers again, Malcolm McDowell, Scout Taylor Compton, Brad Dourif, and Sherry Moon Zombie. This movie only takes a little bit from the original Halloween 2. The rest of the movie is all the vision from Rob Zombie that he was going with in order to complete his legendary tale. The beginning act of this movie is actually rather enjoyable because it actually takes place in a hospital like the original Halloween 2. Except for the gore, the brutality is jacked way up. The first, I'd say 15 minutes of this movie is actually pretty amazing. The way that he kills Octavia Spencer in the beginning, the viciousness of his attack is incredible. The atmosphere in the hospital is amazing. If it would have stuck with that the whole way, this movie would have been amazing. However, he decided to switch it up and go more of the psychological route and focus mainly on Laurie, her recovering from the events of that night and her therapy sessions and what was going on mentally in her world, with her dealing with the PTSD and suffering from nightmares and visions of what Michael Myers did to her that night and how it affected pretty much the rest of her life from there on. The characters in this one, they probably got worse for me. Malcolm McDowell is an egotistical asshole who only cares about making money and selling his book, which is what the original Dr. Loomis would never do. So that's a sour subject because a lot of the fans cannot stand the way that he is in this movie. Laurie is more of like a mentally driven movie. Like I said, it's more focusing on what she went through, how she's dealing with it. So she is whacked out in this movie, screaming from waking up from nightmares, cursing out Annie, her best friend. Just not the same Laurie that we know from the first movie, no way. She is psychologically damaged and it messed with her head badly. Annie, she recovered from this as well. She had a rough time, just as rough as time as Laurie, but Laurie doesn't seem to understand that. She makes it all about her, but Annie she almost died too by the hands of Michael Myers. And she's just, her and her dad, Sheriff Brackett, took Laurie in, so he made her a part of their families.
Pizza. Dude, you didn't get whole wheat.
I forgot. Anybody hungry?
Starving like Martins.
Try to get Laurie back, to the old Laurie, which I don't know. It really wasn't possible, as much drama as she's been through in her family backstory. I didn't mind. When I first watched this, I hated it, to be honest with you, because it wasn't a Halloween movie at all. Michael Myers was in it, but the basis wasn't really the same as all the other Halloweens. On rewatch, I actually rather enjoyed this movie more than I did the last time. If you take away the Halloween and Michael Myers part of it, it's actually a pretty decent movie. Actually, probably one of Rob Zombie's better movies that I've seen from him. Just also, the way the cinematography is shot in this movie is incredible. The low camera angles pointing up with the leaves, and you can see the fog going down the street as we're watching Michael walk. Whenever Michael's in the cornfield and the headlights are shining on him and you can see the fog lifting and the silhouette of him putting on his mask, it is shot brilliantly. It really, really is. This was definitely Rob Zombie's vision, and there was nobody going to tell him what he could or could not do in this one. That's why we got the hospital scene in the beginning. He wanted to get that out of the way, follow suit to the original, and then go from there. But like we said, we find out that whole hospital scene is a dream, which kind of sucked, because you were hoping, damn, this is going to go this route. This is going to be awesome. Then they cut it and go to that route. It was good in its own way, but not good for a Halloween movie, in my personal opinion. A person that makes this movie for sure is definitely Brad Dourif. He sells every scene he's in, especially when he finds when he finds that Annie was killed finally. Not that that's a good thing, but he breaks down, and you can tell that he's putting everything he got into that role. And it would seem like that was actually his real daughter, and that was actually real life, that scene. It was pretty touching. They got the music playing, the sad music, and the slow motion. It was a really intense scene. And the good thing with Andy's death, though, is that they did not show Michael killing her, which was great, because we didn't need to see that. We didn't need to see that whatsoever. She was a beloved character, let alone Danielle Harris playing her was beloved in the franchise, but Annie was a beloved character, and we didn't need to see her die like that. So I do appreciate Rob Zombie doing that. Showed respect to the franchise. Michael in this movie, just as brutal. He only usually wears his mask whenever he's doing the killing, which I find that pretty cool. Other than that, he's just walking around without the mask on. The jumpsuit's covered up by some big jacket with a hood. He got a beard that I don't know where it came from all of a sudden, but he got a big ass beard looking like, they call him Hobo Myers in this one. I do not like the look of Michael in this movie at all. I just don't. It's just not Michael Myers to me. And he's the jumpsuit and the mask guy. He's not the hobo guy with the camo jacket, but in a backpack. But that's the way we gotta go. Fan of in this movie was the trippy dream sequences that it kept bouncing back and forth whenever Laurie would be waking up inside the table. Pumpkin guys around her. I wasn't feeling any of that. She had a dream that she was little Michael killing from the first movie. I wasn't a fan of that either. I don't think the trippy dream sequences added anything to the movie, to be honest with you. They could have left them out and it would have been the same movie with the same results. This movie was pretty vicious. Michael gave it all of his force. He did grunt a lot, which I did not like. But that's, I guess, this version of Michael. He grunts when he stabs people, and he doesn't stab people like the original Michael. This one drives home the knife, I'm telling you what. Like he's hammering a nail into a board. Wailing. He's vicious. And I do appreciate that. I do like that. That reminds me of Halloween 6 Michael, who's vicious. So that was good as well. Like I said, the Halloween atmosphere in this movie is pretty spot on, actually. They got the trick-or-treaters, we got the decorations, we got the leaves. You can feel the coldness in the air in this movie with the fog and everything. So I really do dig that. Definitely has a good Halloween atmosphere. And then they go to that Halloween party. More great Halloween atmosphere with the decorations and the characters that are there and the costumes. I love it. I do love that atmosphere as well. The ending of this movie, though, I do not like. There was the theatrical cut and the director's cut. In the director's cut, Michael Myers talks, which I don't think anybody likes that. Nobody wants Michael to talk. In the theatrical version, he does not talk, so that's why the majority of people love the theatrical version. Dr. Loomis finally comes to redeem himself for being a dick the entire movie and try to save Laurie from Michael. I just didn't like that Laurie was being held down by nobody. It was all in her head. She was too far mentally gone. They show like it's little Michael Myers holding her down, but he's not even really there. Sherry Moon Zombie's there too. Pretty much what this whole movie's based upon, her and her white horse. I didn't really like that very much either because it really wasn't explained. It's just, I don't know. They just threw this white horse thing in there. They could have done away with that too, and the movie would have been way better. I think that's what dragged it down a little bit for me, was the white horse aspect. But other than that, the ending is just too trippy. It's too off the walls, like just a bunch of chaos. We got the cops surrounding the building. Either ending I really didn't like that much. Dr. Loomis finally gets killed. Michael stabs him and kills him. And then the cops just unleash. Kind of reminded me of Jason Goes to Hell. Just blowing the shit out of Michael. All kinds of caliber guns. Just blowing him till he hits the ground. In the unrated one, Lori comes out, grabs the knife. They shoot her too. In the theatrical cut, she just comes out wearing the mask, I believe, because I watched the unrated. I believe that's what happens. And then the final scenes of the movie, they show her in the sanitarium. But I was just confused. Is she actually dead? Or is she actually in a sanitarium? I didn't know if the sanitarium was in her mind. And she was there with her mom and the white horse, of course. And then she just gives that little creepy smile at the end. Like, is she going to be the new Michael Myers? Is she going to take the powers that Myers had? And she's going to be the one killing people now? Is this a dream? Is this real life? Is she in a sanitarium or just in a sanitarium in her mind? That's for the viewer to decide, I guess, because they don't really go. That's the end of the movie right there. Then they go into Love Hurts with the montage of the movies. Another thing I didn't like is that they didn't use the OG theme at all. They barely used any Halloween music in this movie at all. But I guess that was part of Rob Zombie's vision, so he did it. That's just what it got to be. So, surprisingly, I didn't hate this movie as much as I thought. I know you guys are going to be shocked. I'm not going to give it a super high rating, but I'm actually going to give it a 2.25 out of 5. Surprisingly, I had a good time with it. I enjoyed it. I took it for what it was comparing it to the old Halloween movies and the old Michael we love. So that's how I'm gonna go about that one. So let me know your comments below. Let me know if you like the movie. Let me know if you like this version of Michael. If you liked his tore up mask, which I didn't. If you liked Hobo Myers, let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Definitely hit that like and hit that subscribe. Will help me grow this channel. And I'm going to keep pumping out these videos for you guys. So, have a scary day, guys.